Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am talking about my best movie theater experiences. I am going to go from, and it's top 10, right? So I'm going to start from number 10 and work my way all the way up to number 1. So number 10 is, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Now, I saw this film, a week and after my birthday. So it was a late birthday party. So me and 3 of my mates went to the movie theater to see it. The reason why it was so special, the reason why it went onto this list is because it was one of the best movie theater experiences ever. I loved the first Ninja Turtles film in 2014. So when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, oh my god, they are doing some crazy bizarre stuff in this one from the cartoon. They got Bebop, Rocksteady, they got Krang. I watched this YouTuber, still to present day actually, but back then I was way into him, but Black Nerd Comedy, and I was following all of his videos on Out of the Shadows and how Krang was going to be in it, and what the actors and stuff. Anyway, so I invited everyone, well not everyone, but one of my best mates and two of my best mates and one other friend, because his brother was actually going to see the same movie the exact same night, the exact same time. So all 3 of us went with my dad, and we all sat there in front of his brother's friends and my brother, because he was there as well, and we sat there and watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, and it was amazing. When I saw the plane fight and the over-the-topness and the battle with Krang and the one where they break the Shredder out and all the exposition about how Krang needs Shredder's help with this device, and the end credits come up and they start singing the rock version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. I was like, oh my god, this is one of the best movies ever that I've seen. So yeah, and then we went back home, and sure enough, we just played Twister and we played Minecraft, and yeah, it was just a good time. So that was number 10. Now, so number 9 is the Lego Ninjago movie. The reason why I put this one at number 9, I wish that I could push it higher, but I have more fun memories of these next ones than the Lego Ninjago movie. The reason why I put it in at number 9 is because I thought I wouldn't have much to say about Out of the Shadows. But yeah, the Lego Ninjago movie, this was a movie that came out in 2017, and I saw this with my brother and my cousin, because my little cousin was a huge Lego Ninjago fan, and we were like, okay, let's go and see it. And sure enough, I loved it. I thought it was one of the best Lego movies. It wasn't as good as the Lego Batman movie, but I thought that, well, it was my favourite for a while there. It was actually my favourite Lego film for a while, and then when I rewatched the Lego Batman movie and the Lego Ninjago movie, I'm like, actually, you know what? I think I actually preferred the Lego Batman movie just a little bit more than the Lego Ninjago movie, but I still love the Lego Ninjago movie. And sure enough, every single time when they would come over. We would listen to the soundtrack. I remember we were staying out the back one night in a giant tent, and one of the things that we did was dancing to the Lego Ninjago movie soundtrack, which, if you haven't heard the soundtrack, it's an amazing soundtrack, so go check it out on Spotify, or if you haven't, listen to it, because it's amazing. But yeah, so the number 9 was the Lego Ninjago movie. Now, number 8 is Captain America Civil War. The reason why this is not at number 8 is because that it was the first MCU film that I've seen in theaters. All the other films that I've seen all of them. I've seen, at that point, I've seen all the Phase 1 and Phase 2 films, and then when it got to Phase 3, I was like, okay, this film I'm going to see in the theatre. So me and one of my best mates and my dad went to the movie theatre, and we watched it, and it was one of the best movie experiences ever. The reason is because that seeing the whole airport battle and seeing that on the big screen was just amazing. Like, you saw Spider-Man, him swing around and doing references to Star Wars, and you saw like Ant-Man growing into Giant Man and growing big, and I know, just all these moments that happens in that like small, like 15-20 minutes of the fight was just incredible. And then plus the end fight. The end fight wasn't as good as the airport battle, but it was good to see in the movie theater. And then number 7 is Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. So Captain Underpants was a movie that I was actually looking forward to because it looked hilarious by the trailers. So I went with my brother and his girlfriend at the time. Well, we say girlfriend, but he says that. I don't think it is, but I think it was. It was his girlfriend. But yeah, and sure enough, when they started using like the hypno ring and the jokes started happening, like even the potty humor kind of got me, and I wasn't supposed to laugh at that, but also the clever jokes mainly got me than the normal like potty humor that you would expect out of a movie like Captain Underpants. But yeah, because I thought that the final battle was just a cool way to see the whole to see the whole battle on the big screen was just awesome. And it left us on a cliffhanger. Like, he snapped his fingers somehow and tied a rope and pulled his pants off and started to fly with George and Harold and go tra-la-la, and then went to the Captain Underpants theme song with the credits going. I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. But yeah, that was number 7. So number 6 is Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Now, I saw this with my brother, a best friend, and my best friend's brother. The reason why I put this one in there is because that not only was it a great movie and I laughed so hard, but also there's a scene where they have to go back in time, and they're taking Wonder Woman's lasso when they made Bruce Wayne's parents walk away from Crime Alley, and they made baby Kal-El / Superman and his mum and dad dance and all that stuff. So when they're doing that whole like superhero should not exist, so I don't really want to say this because like I love this property and I laughed so hard while I was doing this, but so they show the ooze for the Ninja Turtles. Then the four Turtles are walking up to it, and Robin pushes them out of the way with his hands. And I just stood up in the movie theater, like seriously, stood up in the movie theater and just went, rejection! That is rejection right there. Put them back. And sure enough, my best friend's brother and my brother are telling me to sit down. Luke has got his head buried, and at a point, they all got their head buried going, oh, Jack, why did you do that? And I was like, look, I'm sorry, I just love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They treat them badly. But yeah, so that's why I have it at number 6. It's just because that iconic moment of traveling through time, and also hearing the Back to the Future thing going da 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 while they're traveling with the bikes, and oh my god, it was just so cool. And number 5 is the Lego Batman movie. The Lego Batman movie was another birthday party moment. So I invited two of my best mates, and one that was just a friend, not the same friend from Tells Out of the Stars. Actually, it was a different friend, and we all went there, and not only did we like the movie, I liked the opening where Batman's kicking all this butt, but also singing the I'm Batman song. That was just an iconic moment in the movie. And other than that, I'm catching all these references, because there's reference to the Christopher Nolan Batman. There's references to the DCEU. There's references to the 66 series and the original 4 Batman films. I'm catching all those references. So, and it was just amazing. So that's why I put it at number 5. Number 4 is Toy Story 4. So Toy Story 4, I am not going with the first time, I was seeing Toy Story 4. I'm going with the second time, because the second time we were on a school excursion, and when we saw it, I was laughing for the second time, and I had all my mates there, and 2 of our teachers, and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. And that's why I put it at number 4, because it was just an iconic moment. So, number 3 is Batman Return of the K-Crusaders. Yes, I actually saw Batman Return of the K-Crusaders in theaters. I wanted to see it with my dad and my brother, but my dad couldn't make it, so me and my brother went by ourselves. And then when I went there, we met up with 2 of our mates and their dad. We didn't prepare this. They just happened to be there. And sure enough, we've been to Movie World that year, I think. I think it was that year. And so Harry goes, cuckoo, cuckoo! And then his mate goes, caca, caca! And it was just hilarious, and not only that, but the movie itself, if you've not seen Batman Return of the K-Crusaders, it is amazing. It is a different way of referencing the Batman universe. So they reference, of course, it's placed in the 66 series. So you have Adam West, Burt Ward, and Julian Newmar coming back to do the voices, and all that. But there's also a bit where, like, Batman walks up with this, I forgot what the thing is, but it's like sharp things near his fingers, and he punches the Joker and goes like, "You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts!" And I'm like, that's a reference to Batman 1989, and also the Lego Batman movie, because that movie is also making references to the Batman universe. Because because in the Lego Batman movie, going back to number 5 again, he says that while finding the Joker goes, are you nuts? And then Batman's actually like, you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. And he puts on the let's get nuts mixed. So, number two, for me, I only chose it because it's one, nostalgia, two, it was an iconic thing to see. But number two is The Wiggles Big Big Show. I saw this in the movie theater. It wasn't an actual movie, it was a live stream actually from Sydney. So I went with my mum and my brother. We invited our babysitter and she was happy to come. And we were jamming to the music, singing all the songs, and we also, at the end, they wanted all the kids to stand up, so all of us kids stood up, went down on the floor of the movie theater and danced and all that. It was just a very fun time, and seeing, because I wasn't born when the Wiggles movie came out. I was born in 2002. That thing came out in 1997. No, I was born in 2003. 2002. But no, I didn't see that movie in theaters, so seeing the Wiggles on the big screen, it was just amazing and nostalgic for me. And that's why I put that at number two, because it was just an amazing experience. Seeing the Wiggles, seeing Toot Toot Chugga Chugga, point your fingers and do the twist, and Rockabye Bear, and all that. It was just an incredible experience to experience in the movie theater, because it was just, the nostalgia of it was just amazing. And that brings us to number one, and the number one is Avengers Endgame. Oh my god, Avengers Endgame, what do I have to say about this movie? Everything. I would like to do a review, because then I can talk about more of my experience, but it might have been 2012. Yeah, the Avengers just came out on DVD, and it was 2012, I think it was, but I picked that up. That was my first film to the MCU, and I loved it. So, to watch the first Avengers film, then go back to watch the original films before Avengers, and then build up to Endgame, and then build up to Infinity War, it was just amazing. And Endgame was one of those movie experiences. It was one of the first movies that I went to with a lot of friends. It was one of the first movie experiences that I invited a whole bunch of friends. I'll put the photo up now. But I had all my mates there, and it was just amazing seeing the time travel scene. That, not only were my friends freaking out, but I was. When I saw New York 2012, I was like, oh my god, because this is at the point where I knew when these films came out and when they took place, and I was like, oh my god, they're going back to the first Avengers film, because I thought the quantum realm was I knew that they were going to get the stones, but I didn't know how, so I didn't know that time travel was supposed to be involved with this. So when they went back to the first Avengers, I was like, oh my god, the first one that they show of them going back to is the first Avengers film, and that's the first Marvel film I saw. This is so awesome. And then you see different perspectives, and not only that, but you get some awesome funny moments of Hulk walking down the stairs and going I hate stairs. And you also see what else was there? A shield bunker, and also you see the Hulk getting stuff from the Sanctum Sanctorum with the Ancient One from Doctor Strange, and you see Nebula and War Machine going to get not the Mind Stone, the Power Stone. That's it, the Power Stone. And knocking out Peter Quill to get the device to break into the temple, and all that, and the last battle, oh my god, the last battle. If you weren't with me during this movie, I was seriously freaking out. Because when the whole, when the fight starts happening, I'm like, yes, hoping this get any better than this. And sure enough, Cap's down, and Thanos goes, of all my years of conquest. And I can't remember the full thing, but he's basically saying that I'm gonna have fun destroying this planet, is basically what he's trying to say. And when all of the Chitauri from the first Avengers film come down, and you just see all this stuff, and Captain America stands up in front of the Chitauri, you're like, yes, okay, what's gonna happen now? Obviously, everyone's down and Cap's gonna fight them on his own. This is not gonna be good, but I'm in for anything this movie gives me because this movie's so good. And then they went a step further for the one and only, oh my god. When you hear Sam, seriously, it's like, like you can't really hear it because it's rusty because the thing's going in and out. But when it's like, Cap, it's Sam, can you hear me? And then the Doctor Strange portal opens back up, and I'm like, oh my god, Falcon's coming back. And it's like, on your left. And then you hear the drums going off. And you see Black Panther, Shuri, and Okoye just walking out of the portal. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I'm about to burst into tears. And then, when all the portals open up, and it's a huge spectacle of just everyone coming out. And then you see, oh my god, this next moment is amazing. But so Ant-Man grows and drops Hulk, and he drops down, and he looks up and looks heroic, and War Machine's there with Rocket, and he pushes the gun out, and then you hear the Avengers music, dun 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 da 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 da, and then that rhythm just keeps on going, and then you pin down all these heroes. I'm like, yes, what's this gonna be? Come on, this has got to be the one thing that Cap says. And then when he goes, Avengers, I'm like, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what in the world is he going to say? And then when it gets to Cap, and he has his hand out, and he grabs onto Mjolnir, and then the camera kind of pans to his face, and he just quietly, I was expecting a big one, but I was happy with what I got, was assemble. And then they all charged out, and you see the spectacle of everyone running out. I'm like, I was freaking out, and my mate Sean, who has been on this YouTube channel, he was the first one that had on the podcast on this channel, and also he was also in I think he was in my first vlog. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. Sean's an awesome man of mine. And he just kind of turned to me and just started like laughing at me and cracking up. It was amazing. And then I turned to him and said, this is what I want from an Avengers film, is everyone from these films coming together and it's happening. And then when it got to the point where like you see like I think it was Black Panther, Thor, Cap, and everyone running, and it pans back, and then you see Iron Man, Spider-Man, Valkyrie, and everyone flying in the air, and everyone running across the ground. I'm like, yes, come on! And then that fight just starts happening. I'm like, oh my god. And then when Captain Marvel shows up, and it's like, something's entering the upper atmosphere. And sure enough, that Carol just flies down, and then she beats down the ship, and then she just kind of stands there looking at Captain America, and then Cap's like, Danvers, we need an assist here. I was like, oh my god, this movie is amazing. It's my favourite film of all time. It's also my favourite MCU film. Because to build up for what they did with Iron Man and build up for the last 10 years was just an amazing payoff. And it got me. And I was like, oh my god. And not only that, but during the credits were one of the best things about this movie. The time travel scene, I kid you not, the time travel scene, the end fight scene, and the credits are the best thing about this movie. I love everything else, but those three things I would just rewatch over and over and over again without any context. So when you heard the Man on the End version of the Avengers scene, and the movie clips are going for Hawkeye, and then you see the Hawkeye shadow pan out, and it has Jeremy Renner's signature and Jeremy Renner's name at the end. I'm just like, yes! And then I'm screaming. Then when Scarlett Johansson pulls back with her movie clips and her shadow and her signature and her name, ever since then I've been going, yes! And then when it gets to Thor, Cap, and Iron Man, I'm like, yes! This is the best movie ever. And it was, and it never ruins the experience. It always makes me go like, yes! This is the Avengers film that I wanted. But I understand why they didn't do it for the first Avengers film, because they had to build it up. So when they got to the Avengers film, I'm like, yes! When it got to Endgame, I was like, oh my god. What's next for the Avengers? Unless they do a Galactus. And you get basically that final battle from Endgame, but throughout the entire movie, I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. So, yeah guys, those were my top 10 best movie theater experiences. Please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Also hit the little bell icon to get notified of future videos I make. So, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.